Namaskar. Welcome to Ek Samvad at Arunimankuran. 23rd August is National Space Day. We are in conversation to celebrate a journey that knows no bounds. Our guest today is Professor A.S. Arya, former Group Director for Planetary and Geosciences Group at Space Applications Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you for being on Ek Samvad.
Thank you, Dr.Pragya.
A word about Arunimankuran. This is an initiative for positive social change through self-development. The goal is greater well-being and happiness for all. At Arunimankuran, we believe that each person is unique and special in some way, that each person can make a difference, that each person can create an impact, and that's what inspires us to keep going. So the theme for National Space Day 2025 is Aryabhatta to Gaganyaan, Ancient Wisdom to Infinite Possibilities. We celebrate National Space Day because India became the fourth country in the world to land on the moon on August 23rd, 2023, the first to reach the moon's south pole, and our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi declared 23rd August as National Space Day. The theme stands for Ancient Knowledge Inspiring Modern Innovation, India's unbroken spirit of inquiry across millennia, technological progress rooted in cultural pride and ambition, and the aims of the 2025 celebration are to inspire students and youth to take science as a calling, not just as a career, honor Indian thinkers, ancient and modern, who expanded our universe, and to build national pride in India's space leadership. Let's celebrate a journey that knows no bounds with a leader from India's space missions, Professor Dr. A.S. Arya. He's a gold medalist in geology, PhD in desertification, 38 years at ISRO in remote sensing and planetary sciences. His key roles have included Head Planetary Sciences Division and Group Director, SAC Ahmedabad. He's been the principal investigator of the Mars Orbiter mission and Chandrayaan-2. He contributed to the Venus mission. He's been a member of Chandrayaan-3 Science Review Committee, has 60 plus research publications to his credit, has represented India at UNCCD and global forums. Currently, he's a freelance advisor, consultant, and educator. Thank you so much for being here, sir. It's a pleasure to have you on Ek Samvad. To begin with, please walk us through your journey with the ISRO, how you joined, and what have been some of the milestones that you would like to share with us.
Thank you. And it's a privilege for me to be on board this very meaningful and prestigious platform, Samvad. And as far as my journey is concerned, as you have already enumerated, that I passed out from college with a master's degree in geology in the year 1986. And the same year I was absorbed in ISRO on merit. And ever since nearly 38 plus years, I have been associated with various kinds of projects. Initially more about Earth, that is the terrestrial projects, where I contributed as a remote sensing scientist in the field of geology, geo-environmental hazards like landslides, earthquakes, desertification. And later on, when ISRO moved towards its first planetary mission, Chandrayaan-1, I was given this opportunity to get associated as a planetary geologist with planetary missions. And ever since, I have been associated with all the four planetary missions that we had: Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3, Mars Orbiter mission, and also in planning of the future Venus mission and other missions that are going to be there, like Chandrayaan-4. So this is my journey in short that has been so far.
It is so amazing for us So we only see it in the newspapers, and you have actually been a part of the team which is behind all these amazing achievements. Could you talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced, and how the teams work together? What are some of the important aspects of a space mission that, as a scientist, you have to be very careful about? Please talk to us about that.
Yeah, the biggest challenge was that we were the first team in India
Hmm.
uh, to have a look at the satellite images that were coming from our vital platform about moon from our own mission, and we had no a prior knowledge of planetary or lunar domains as we see from these particular very high resolution images in three-dimensional that we were getting. So we were not taught about planetary, subject in so much detail in our college also, and we were the first team in India to have started this particular research work using our own data. So that team consisted of not very large but a small, team which had very few members, and that's how it was a big challenge. That's why it is a big challenge, that how we could not only learn or get educated our own selves through our own self studies, and also looking at the images and interpreting it whether rightly or wrongly, and then finding out what is wrong and then correcting that, and through our own experience, not expertise. And to do that, to come to the level where you can deal with or you can discuss it with international scientists, you need to have a very quick, you know uh, line of movement
Very
from
good.
a student to an expert, or so-called expert, I would say, because we are still learning. Always, we are always learning. So that has to be done very quickly, and that was a very big challenge. And we were fortunate enough that our missions brought in some really remarkable results, some discoveries from planetary bodies. That was the biggest challenge.
So when you look at someone like Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla going to the space, what are some of the dreams that you see as a space scientist for the future of our space mission?
Yeah, actually, today is the National Space Day, which is basically observed as per our landing on the moon uh, uh, on August 23rd in 2023. I remember that day very vividly because I was associated with the Science Review Committee team, and it was very exciting to see whether, after having failed 0.00001%, which happened to be 100% failure, which happened during the Chandrayaan 2 lander. So this was really very challenging, and we actually picked it up very fast, and we did it very fast, and followed up with this mission Chandrayaan 3, and so it was a big challenge for us. But just before the launch, when we interacted with the mission team, and we saw their confidence, and they said, "Sir, we are going to land safely, land softly, and we are 100% confident." So that gave some kind of goosebumps, and also that gave a lot of confidence to us. So that day was special, and today is 23rd August 2025. We are discussing about what we went through, and it was very exciting to see that we land on the southern part of the moon,
Hmm.
which is the first attempt, because it is very difficult, very challenging. And the next endeavor is to land, to bring samples from there, because we find something really interesting with soil, how the temperature changes so fast, just within few centimeters, and how the dust settles so fast in the southern hemisphere. So to know more And to know in detail, we need to bring back samples. For that, we need robotic missions. For that, we need human missions. And in that pursuit, we are developing our Gaganyaan program, and we are preparing our astronauts, in which Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla also, recently he accomplished a docking experiment very successfully and came back in a very jubilant mood, and this is a very good thing to, carry forward. And we have other astronauts also who have been trained in space missions, and I'm sure these are our assets. They will be big value addition when we send our own capsules, Gaganyaan missions, wherein they can be very much helpful in these particular missions. And when we land on the planetary bodies, especially the moon to start with, they will be really having, they really bringing back some very good, samples which we can study. And because such kind of astronauts are mostly picked up from Air Force, because they are trained in, withstanding all that kind of high G and anti-gravity forces that uh, usually normal human beings are very not very conversant with. So they are all our assets, and we are very proud of them. And in future, what we expect is that all these astronauts, they will not only land on moon, but they will also do some in situ studies over there using certain instruments that they will carry, and also bring back some very good samples which are to be selected and collected very selectively. So these things are what we expect from them, and I'm sure they will be trained in this very well. And we see a very bright and a very hopeful future.
Uh, I think you're the right person to respond to this question, sir. There is a lot of concern among the general public about what is the need for us to go into space. So, please talk to us about the relevance of the space mission.
See, this question arises from very fact, and it has been there since the time Vikram Sarabhai, the father of Indian space, put forward this idea of having a space department in India and carrying out space experiments. Uh, he was always been asked a question that whether we can afford such luxurious missions when we are a developing country importing grains to eat. And I liked what he responded at that time. He responded that it is not the question that we can afford, but the question is whether we can afford to ignore the space odyssey. And he said not only we have to be part of the space, but we have to be second to none, and this all has to be done for the benefit of the society. That's what is the theme of your this entire endeavor that you are carrying forward. So that is the kind of thing which is continued, and today we see that space is one thing that threatens the entire existence of human being on earth.
Hmm,
Anything which is known as near earth object
hmm,
can strike the terrestrial system,
hmm,
and just like dinosaurs, human beings also can vanish within a small period of time. So in that pursuit, we need to know about the immediate threats that are around us. Secondly, we need to know that of what has happened to those planets which are supposed to have had very good atmosphere, very good living conditions, or maybe there was water and all other things. Suddenly, what happened to them, or gradually, what happened to them, or whether our own system, this terrestrial system, is also going to lose the atmosphere, lose life, and if it is so, then how long it takes. There are many questions like that. Third question is that whether there is a life somewhere
Yes.
on any other planetary body.
Hmm.
And fourth is that we need to know if there are such mineral resources, such natural resources that we can exploit from moon, and also have our own settlements on different planetary bodies for different purpose. So this is in overall, in a capsule, this is what we need to study the space for.
So we look at it on the TV screen, and yet there is some, uh, we can get a feel of how much the tension in the space mission team is. So talk to us a little about how you manage the stress of the job. You know.
Yeah, you can say that our missions, as you rightly pointed out, they are basically teamwork,
Hmm.
and our missions are always time bound, and those time bound projects are to be accomplished with the accuracy,
Hmm.
not only of the quality but also in time. And you can see when we are lifting off, we are calculating, counting down in minutes and then in seconds, but actually behind the scenes there are things which are going on in milliseconds also. Many things happen to that kind of accuracy, which needs to be very, 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 very precise. So all these things need a very good homework, a very good preparation,
Hmm.
and a very committed soul who can accomplish these things. And just like a movie, space missions have different teams who work for these missions, and they have to fire on full power at the same time when it is needed. So the quality of the work, the accuracy of the work, and the success depends on the total teamwork and very coherent teamwork. You see, when we um, work under stress, then we are supposed to work under stress without stress. You understand my point?
Yes.
We are supposed to uh, deliver without stress. Of course, it's a very big challenge, but that's what we try to do through a teamwork where we help each other, not only through our knowledge but also emotionally, psychologically, and whatever way we can help each other. So it's a good teamwork, very challenging because it is time bound, quality bound, and it has to be performed with 100% success. Just for an example, Chandrayaan 2, I would just mention that a 3 lakh 84,000 kilometer distance from Earth to Moon, it just failed in last 2 kilometer or so. So
Yes.
you see, it is kind of a 99.9999999% success, but it is actually 100% failure. So you
Yes.
see how much we achieved, but just last few yards, that so to say, we just lost the communication with the lender. So these are the kind of challenges that we have. We cannot say that we have done this much 99 point so many nines success we have achieved, but it will still be 100% failure. So that stress is, yes, it is always there to cope up with.
So you spoke about something which is very, very important for all of us to learn, to bounce back from failure. And ISRO as an organization is known to have a very robust culture where failure becomes a stepping stone to success, and it's like learning a lesson from that experience. Could you talk to us about some of the core learnings that you have had from your career as a scientist in ISRO?
Yeah, I would say that failure is part of, or I would say, not partial failure is part of every game that we have professionally in any field. There are times, there are such situations where you would feel let down, or your chin will be down, but at the same times you have to keep yourself mentally fit, mentally prepared, mentally sound. As I said, we have to work under stress but without stress. How do we do it?
Yes.
See, the most important part is that uh, every human being or a professional must have something other than his basic core professional field,
Hmm.
some other hobby, something that he can, get associated with, and depressurize himself and get detoxified for the next step, or for the next day in office. So these are the kind of things that many of us get into. Some of our chairmen have been associated with various things. One of our chairmen was a very good musician, dancer, and I am also into music. I try to depressurize or detoxify myself through music, and I am a singer. I play certain instruments, so
Hmm.
that's how I just try to you know refresh my mind before taking up the work at next day in the office.
Yes. Because there is always a human element to every professional work that we are doing. Uh, what are some of the qualities and skill sets that a young person needs to become successful as a scientist?
Well, I would say that whether it is field of science or any other field, uh, two things are very important. First thing, I always tell the students also when I am dealing with that. After for some years, I have been interacting with students. I have been delivering popular lectures in schools, colleges, and also interacting with corporate people in the industry, and delivering popular lectures. One thing I always tell, that most important thing in profession and also in your life, in your family, is patience.
Hmm.
If you are patient, you are going, not only going to survive, but also you can see the light on the other side of the tunnel very soon. And second thing is that always I profess is that positive attitude. Never say that it is not going to happen because XYZ. We may find 1000 excuses to say why a work cannot be done, but if we start thinking of even one way how that work can be done, that's what makes the difference between success and failure.
Yes. That is so valuable, sir. Thank you. Uh, from your own experience of so many years, are there two or three particular memories that always stay with you?
Yeah, well, I think there are certain uh, times during my profession which I feel are a gift from God to me, the experience that I had. And sometime I feel that I have been really fortunate to be in this particular field, which is not only my profession, but it is my passion also. I have been passionate about science, space science, planetary science. So, when we were taking up this mission, Chandrayaan 1 mission,
Hmm.
that was a time when we were doing it for the first time, and we did not know
Hmm.
that whether it will be a success or it will not be a success. And the success depended on the capture of Chandrayaan 1 spacecraft into the moon's gravity. And that was very challenging. I still remember we were waiting in the mission, this thing. And then, as soon as we heard the news that our spacecraft was successfully captured in the moon's gravity, and that's the time when we can maneuver it to go around the moon and take nice beautiful pictures, meaningful pictures. So that's one thing that I really first time, it is like you become father first time, so you are so excited that from now on you will be called papa or daddy. So that was the excitement. And second was when we conducted the Mars mission. I still remember that how difficult that mission was. It is like, if I have to give an analogy, that you have to, in a golf game, you have to hit the ball on in India, and it has to get into a hole in United States of America. So this particular kind of difficulty level was there, and in our case, the hole was constantly moving. That means Mars was constantly moving, and we have to still estimate that how much, how well we and how accurately we put our, spacecraft from nearly, 22.5 crore kilometer, and we have to put it into a window of 50 by 50 kilometer. If you are off that towards Mars, you bang into Mars. If you are off that away from Mars, you
Hmm.
fly past. You are not captured around Mars.
Right.
So this was the kind of difficulty level, and I was there in the mission control center, and it was really exciting. We had our fingers crossed. We had our goosebumps, when we heard that our spacecraft was very successfully captured within the desired orbit, and it is doing well. So that the second time, and at that time, fortunately, our prime minister was also in the same campus. So we were really thrilled and encouraged to have a mission successful and encouraged by the leaders of the country.
As you look forward, sir, from now on, uh, what are some of the missions that you think will take India forward as a leader in the world in terms of space?
Yeah, you see, Chandrayaan 1, we were not the first one to go to moon or orbit the moon, but we were first one to tell the world that moon is not bone dry as it was thought. Even the samples that was brought back during Apollo landings by astronauts, they were found to be not hydrated samples, or they were found to be devoid of water. But through our mission from 100-kilometer distance from the surface of moon,
Hmm.
we not we detected the presence of water on moon. That was really very good, I would say, takeaway from our mission. uh, Similarly, in Chandrayaan 2 and Chandrayaan 3, especially Chandrayaan 3 also, when we landed, after that we have conducted certain experiments, and we had found that there is a drastic difference between the equatorial soil or equatorial behavior of the surface of the moon and how the surface behaves on the southern side of the moon. We see how the temperature drops by nearly 70 degrees in just 8 to 10 centimeters. We have seen the presence of sulfur over there. We have seen some moonquakes. We have recorded some moonquakes over there. So now these particular things we have done in a way that gives very exciting science results. But what next? We need to go and settle on the moon, create our own laboratories there, and bring a very good science laboratory of Indian origin on the surface of moon. And towards that, we are having our next mission, that is Chandrayaan 4 mission, which will bring back soils samples, rock samples from southern part of the moon, and we will test them, that how the soil or the rock of the south pole behaves, and if we can have habitability possibility on the even on the southern part of the moon.
It is so amazing, sir, just to hear you talking about, we think Chanda Mama Dur ke, and you're talking about, what you can see there, bringing back samples from there. So it's absolutely fascinating for us to hear you speaking about interplanetary missions and what is going to happen in the future.
So far nobody has brought any sample from Mars, So it is a big endeavor. It is a big, dream of each spacefaring entity, whether it is American or Russian or European or Chinese, to bring back a sample from Mars. So I believe and I hope that India becomes the first, space agency to bring back sample of Mars to Earth.
In a world, where people are running after so many materialistic things, it is such a pleasure to hear a scientist say, "We just want to bring a small piece from Mars." you know, Beautiful, sir. Wonderful. Uh, I just heard you, during the conversation, you said, "Thank God." What is the connection of a scientist to spirituality? How does it work?
You see, when you say spirituality, it is different from religion, right? So you use the right word, spirituality. Spirituality is the basis of science.
Mhm.
I have not only heard many talks on that. Spirituality is the spine behind science. And science, the part of belief, spirituality envelops many things which has things which we believe. And from this belief, whatever has been proven in laboratory becomes science. Okay, and there are lot many things which still remain that has to be proven, and they will become science. You must have heard of god particle also. You see scientists use that term god particle. So these kind of things happen when we talk of certain things. They have been envisaged in our vedic or pre-vedic scriptures, and which were not there. Pushpak Viman, or even the kind of somebody throws elephant in the sky and it never comes down. So somebody knew that there is a thing called escape velocity. If you throw something with that escape velocity, which is a concept in physics, nothing would come down. Nobody would think that if you throw an elephant up, it will not come down. So there are things which there are many things even in Ayurveda you can see. So all these things, your thought process becomes science when they are proven. Spirituality is one thing which teaches you what I mentioned earlier, that patience and positivity. So if you are spiritual, you will always be patient. You will never lose your hope, your temper, and also your expectations. And that's how I always believe when it is said that spirituality is the spine of science.
Yes. So, before we conclude this conversation with you, sir, is there a message you would like to share?
Yeah, messages that as Dr. Vikram Sarabhai envisaged, that space is a place that should be used for the benefit of mankind, for the benefit of society, and for peaceful purpose only. And that's what we should keep it like. And secondly, that I can also address the young budding, these students who many of them would like to be scientists, that you have a particular science question in your mind. Many science questions are not answered. So once you pursue particular quest for a particular gap in science, then you will definitely have a passion for that subject. And in this profession, the passion is one thing which delivers things in time, and you can work under pressure without pressure.
Yes. So, we are so grateful to you, sir, for your time and for being on Ek Samvad at Aruni Mankuran. Thank
It's
you,
my
sir.
pleasure and my duty also towards the society. And I wish you all the best for this very meaningful platform that you are conducting these podcasts. Of course, I would also listen to other speakers, that you have recorded. Thank
Yes.
you very much, madam.
Uh, We are proud to have you here, and we would like to say thank you for your services to the nation as a scientist, and wishing you all the best in your future ventures, sir. Thank you, sir.